family Gramini or Poaceae. The new name of Gramini is Poaceae. First, the systematic position of Gramini. According to Bentham-Hooker system of classification, this is under monocotyledon, and monocotyledon divided into 7 series, and the last series is Glumaceae, and Glumaceae includes family Gramineae. And according to Hutchinson system of classification, monocotyledon divided into 3 divisions: Caliciferae, Coroliferae and Glumiflorae. So this is under Glumiflorae. Glumiflorae includes order Gramineales, and this is under Gramineales, and order Gramineales includes family Gramineae or Poaceae. So this is all about the systematic position of Gramineae or Poaceae. Next comes to the habit and habitat of the plant. All type of plants are available in this family. We are talking about the family. So some are herbs, shrubs, and some very rarely they are trees. Herbs, particularly, it is a common grass family. So the common grass which is included in this family is Cynodon dactylon or dub grass. And shrubs are like sugarcane and tree, that is bamboo. So these are the plants which are included in this family, that is rice, Oryza sativa, wheat, Triticum acetibum, bamboo, Bambusa rustica, dub grass, that is Cynodon dactylon, Saccharum officinarum, that is sugarcane, then maize or maize. So there are so many plants in this family, and it is known as common grass family. It is a monocot plant, and the roots are adventitious roots. It is a monocot plant, so the roots are always adventitious, and some perennial plants having rhizomes. And about the habitat of the plant, some are annuals which live for a single season, and biennials which live for 2 seasons, and perennials which are living for long years or many years. So some plants are annual plants, some are biennial, some are perennials. So next, the stem of the plant. Stem is solid and sometimes it is hollow. Hollow stems are mainly found in rice, wheat, bamboo. There is hollow stem, and some having solid stem. They like sugarcane, maize. There is having solid stem. So this is all about the, and some are having on-branch stem, and the stem with nodes and internodes. The stem having nodes and internodes, and next is leaf. At the base of the stem there is crowded leaves, many leaves are present, but at the top of the stem, that is called aerial stem, and this aerial stem having nodes and internodes, and here the leaves are arranged in 2 rows, that is called distichous arrangement of leaf. So this is a parallelly veined leaf, and no leaf petiole or the stalk of the leaf is absent here. There is a seeding leaf base. And the leaves are arranged in distichous. Distichous means 2 rows of leaves are arranged and partially cover the stem. The stem is covered partly by the seeding leaf base. This is the leaf base which partly cover the stem, and there are 2 rows of leaves are there, and the entire stem, the surface is covered by a sheath sheath cover the entire surface of the stem. And leaves are having parallel venation or parallelly veined leaf. These are all monocot leaf. This is the parallel venation, acute apex, and there is a seeding leaf base. No leaf petiole, or there is no such petiole. They are covered by a sheath. Next comes to the seeding leaf base, or at the base of the seeding leaf base, there is presence of a membranous outgrowth that is called ligule. This is the membrane or membranous outgrowth. Ligule is present in the at the base of the seeding leaf base. But in case of bamboo, there is no such seeding leaf base. There is presence of petiole, or the leaf is separated by a small petiole, and the leaves are parallelly veined or parallel venation, acute apex with seeding leaf base. And next, inflorescence. Inflorescence is spike, and the spike consists of spikelet, or individual floret is known as spikelet. This spikelet having a very small axis or minute axis attached to the stalk, that is known as rachilla. Each spikelet consists of two empty glumes. These are the two empty glumes or sterile glumes. Inner to these sterile glumes, two fertile glumes are there. One is lemma, another is pellia. Pellia is bikilled, and sometimes the awl arises from lemma. These two are the two fertile glumes. Inner to these two fertile glumes, there is reduced perianth. Perianth here very much reduced to form a fleshy structure that is known as lodicle. And inner to the lodicle, the reproductive units are stamens and gynosium. So inflorescence is spike, and the inflorescence terminates in the culm. Culm is the aerial most part of the stem, and the inflorescence ends in this culm. And each spikelet, a spike consists of spikelets. These are all spikelets, and each spikelets having two empty glume, two fertile glume, two lodicles. Lodicles are the reduced form of perianth. Then the stamens and gynosium. Then comes to flower. Flower is zygomorphic. Zygomorphic means the flower can be divided into two equal halves in only one vertical plane, or there is unequal petals. Here there is no calyx corolla, so this is a asymmetric flower, and this is known as zygomorphic. Hypogynous. Hypogynous means superior ovary. Superior ovary means the ovary is superior in position and all the other holes arises below ovary. Then androecium. Number of stamen 3 to 6. 3 in case of wheat, 6 in case of rice. If the number is 3, they are arranged in a single ring. If this is the stamen of wheat, and these are arranged in this ring. And in case of rice, they are arranged in two alternate trimeters. This is the another ring having 3 stamens. So these are arranged in this manner. And the stamen This is the structure of stamen, and anthers are bilobed or dithecous anther. Dithecous. Versatile. Versatile means hanging anther, and it is basifixed. The filament attaches to the base of the anther, that is known as basifixed. Bilobed, versatile and basifixed, and this anther open by a longitudinal slit. This is the longitudinal slit, and at this longitudinal slit the anther open and introse. Introse means the filament directly attached to the end of the anther lobe. So this is the structure of stamen. Then gynoecium. Number of carpel 1, or it is known as monocarpellary. Superior ovary. Only one ovule in one locule, means only one chambered ovary where only one ovule is present, and this ovule is anatropous ovule. Anatropous ovule. Only one ovule inside the single chamber of the ovary, and this is monocarpellary. Now comes to floral formula of the family. Floral formula. So we are writing the floral formula of Triticum acidivum or wheat. First is BR, bracteate. Presence of these glumes. Glumes are the bract. So this is bracteate. Then zygomorphic flower. So this is the sign of zygomorphic. Then no calyx, no corolla. Perianth. So perianth is 2 lodicle. Then number of stamen 3. Gynoecium 1. Monocarpellary. Syncarpus. So this is the floral formula of Triticum acidivum. Then floral diagram. Here there is no calyx ring corollary. Only 2 blooms are there. One is of lemma, another is pillar. So these are the blooms. Then 2 lodicles. Number of stamen in case of wheat, it is 3. So they are arranged in this ring. Then ovary. This one. This is the ovary, and this is bifid feathery stigma. Style is very much reduced in this case, and this is the feathery stigma attached to the base of the ovary, and each ovary having a single ovule inside it. So this is the TS of ovary having feathery stigma, 3 stamens in one ring, 2 lodicles, and these are the lemma and pelia. So this is the floral diagram of wheat. This is a bisexual flower. So both androecium and gynoecium or the TS of ovary present together, and in unisexual flowers only the stamens are present, and in case of rice the number of stamen is 6. So they are arranged in 2 rings. So this is another ring of stamen. Number of stamen, this is the lodicle, and this is the number of stamen 6. So likewise there is a difference in the floral diagram.